Trying to get it up into the air is probably the trickiest point.
A witch cackles as she soars over treetops, a lawnmower hums midair, and a cockroach scuttles across your ceiling, all under your command. Who are the brilliant minds behind these jaw-dropping creations? RC models have evolved far beyond cars and planes. Today's inventors are building machines that defy reality itself. From the eeriest to the most mind-boggling, let's explore the 14 most unusual RC models ever created. Number 14. Hero RC H911. At first glance, you might think, oh, just another little helicopter. But trust me, this tiny titan is anything but ordinary. Known as the eye rocket in some circles, this micro-chopper has earned a reputation in the RC world for being a rugged, pint-sized powerhouse that's as tough as nails and twice as fun. Whether you're a newbie dipping your toes into the RC hobby or a seasoned pilot looking for a quirky challenge, the H911 has something unusual up its sleeve, or rather, its rotor blades. So what's so weird about the Hero RC H911? For starters, let's talk size. This thing is tiny. We're talking just over 9 inches long, small enough to fit in the palm of your hand. Most RC helicopters that size are flimsy little toys that fall apart after one awkward crash. But not this guy. The H911 is built like a tank, or at least, a tank shrunk down to micro proportions. It's got a crash-resistant frame made of flexible yet durable plastic, which means it can take a beating and keep on flying. Picture this. You're buzzing around your living room, you misjudge a turn, and bam, it smacks into the wall. Any other micro-heli would be toast, but the H911 just shrugs it off like, is that all you've got? That durability in such a small package is what makes it stand out in a crowd of fragile flyers. Another unusual twist is its 4-channel fixed-pitch helicopter with gyro stabilization. Now, if you're new to RC, that might sound like jargon, so let me break it down. Most beginner helicopters are 3-channel coaxial models, 2 rotors stacked on top of each other, super stable, but kinda boring once you've mastered them. The H911 is a single rotor beast with 4 channels of control, up and down, forward and back, left and right, and yaw. That extra channel gives you way more maneuverability, letting you pull off stunts like tight turns and speedy dashes that'd make a 3-channel heli jealous. The built-in gyro keeps it stable, so even though it's got that advanced control, it's still forgiving enough for beginners to handle with a bit of practice. This cute little chopper has a price tag hovering around $40 to $50, super affordable by the way, and yet it's got a cult following among serious RC pilots who use it to practice crazy indoor stunts. It's like the Clark Kent of RC models, unassuming on the outside, but a total superhero once it takes flight. Let's look into some standout features that make the H911 even more intriguing. First off, it comes ready to fly right out of the box, complete with a 2.4 GHz transmitter sporting an LCD display. Pretty fancy for a heli this cheap. That controller lets you see your trim settings and battery status, and it even has a built-in USB charging cable for the heli's battery, so you're not fumbling with extra cords. Speaking of batteries, it ships with 2 150 mAh LiPo batteries, giving you about 5 to 7 minutes of flight time. Number 13. Volantex ASW-28 Sail. Next up on our list of bizarre RC wonders is the Volantex ASW-28 Sail, a glider that's as serene as it is strange. If you're picturing a high-tech RC plane buzzing with motors and flashing lights, think again. This little beauty is a throwback to the golden age of flight, a pure sailplane that dances with the wind instead of fighting it. This is built for hunting thermals and gliding in style. With its massive wingspan and sleek design, this beauty from Volantex blends serenity with a touch of strangeness, making it a standout in the RC world. So, what's so unusual about the Volantex ASW-28? It's a hybrid beast, part glider, part powered plane. It's no longer new that it is sporting a 9-foot wingspan. It's designed to soar unpowered like a true sailplane, but it comes with a brushless motor and folding prop for when you need a boost. Most RC planes lean hard into speed or stunts, but this one thrives on slow, floaty flights, mimicking the real ASW-28's thermal riding prowess. The combo of a plastic fuselage and foam wings is odd too, tough yet light. The bizarre factor kicks in with its vibe. It's like a time traveler from the age of silent flight. That huge, slender wingspan and unibody plastic hull give it an almost retro look, yet it's packed with modern RC tech. Watching it drift silently, then suddenly power up with a whirring prop, feels like a plot twist in midair. It's oddly mesmerizing, part bird, part machine, and its ability to hang in the sky for ages on a single thermal makes it feel like it's defying gravity with a wink and a smirk. It's a 5-channel setup with ailerons, elevator, rudder, flaps, and throttle, powered by a 4023 brushless motor and 30A ESC. The folding prop saves drag when gliding, and the roomy interior fits big batteries. Think a 3S 1500 to 2000 milliamps battery, built to last for 10 to 15 minutes of powered flight. Snap-together assembly means no glue, and the canopy's snap locks make battery swaps very easy. You can grab the Volantex ASW-28 PNP version for $140 to $170 from Hobby King or Banggood. Well worth it for this big bird. Launched as an upgrade to its V1, it's a hit with glider fans who rave about its floaty perfection and easy thermaling. Weighing around 2.5 pounds, it's best for calm days or slope soaring. Wind can toss it around. Add your own radio and battery, and you're set. Number 12. SR-71 Blackbird. This isn't just any RC plane. It's a miniature tribute to the legendary Lockheed SR-71, the Cold War spy plane that screamed across the skies at Mach 3+. Now shrunk down to hobby size, this jet-black beauty brings a dose of military mystique to your backyard. With its sleek lines and high-speed antics, the SR-71 Blackbird RC is equal parts unusual and downright bizarre. Unlike most RC planes that go for bright colors or sporty looks, this one's all about stealthy vibes. It's powered by electric ducted fans, EDF for short, which mimic real jet engines, pushing it to speeds of up to 60 miles per hour. That's blazing fast for an RC plane. Most hobbyists stick to slower propeller models, so the SR-71's jet-like performance is a rare treat. It's not just a toy, it's a tiny piece of aviation history with a twist. Here's the bizarre kicker. There's something surreal about seeing a top-secret spy plane, once flown at 80,000 feet by elite pilots, now zipping over a soccer field in foam form. That jet-black finish, those sharp edges, it looks like it's ready to dodge missiles, not dodge your neighbor's dog. And yet, it's accessible to anyone with a controller and some guts. The contrast between its serious military roots and its playful RC reality is what makes it so strange. Plus, it's tricky to fly. Those high speeds demand real skill, adding a layer of quirky challenge. Let's talk features that make this bird soar. The SR-71 Blackbird RC often sports a 31-inch wingspan and a lightweight EPO foam body, weighing around 2 pounds. It's a 6-channel setup, full control over throttle, ailerons, elevators, rudder, and even retractable landing gear on some versions. That's pro-level stuff. The 70mm EDF unit delivers serious thrust, paired with a 2,200 milliamps LiPo battery for 5 to 8 minutes of flight time. Oh, and that matte black paint job? It's not just for show. It's got a subtle sheen that screams cool factor. Some models even include LED lights for night flights. Number 11. Parrot Mini Drone. This is a tiny tech marvel that's more than just a quadcopter. Whether it's the Parrot Mambo or the Rolling Spider, these pint-sized flyers from Parrot, a drone pioneer, flip the script on traditional RC models. Imagine a gadget that fits in your pocket, zips around your house, and comes with wild extras like a cannon or wheels. It's quirky, it's futuristic, and it's a total departure from the usual RC fare. It's remarkable as it ditches the classic RC controller for smartphone control via Bluetooth. Yes, you pilot it with an app. That alone sets it apart from the joysticks and transmitters we're used to. Then there's its size. At just 2.4 inches wide and under 70 grams, it's small enough to hover indoors without wrecking your furniture. But the real kicker is optional accessories like the Mambo's mini cannon, which fires tiny plastic balls, or the Rolling Spider's clip-on wheels that let it crawl along walls and ceilings. This is a Swiss Army knife of RC weirdness. Picture this: a drone that does 360-degree flips mid-air, then lands and rolls across your floor like a little robot. Or one that shoots BBs at your cat. Safely, of course. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie, blending aerial acrobatics with playful gimmicks. The Rolling Spider's ability to scuttle upside down on your ceiling is especially freaky. It's half drone, half creepy crawler. The Parrot Mambo packs a 550 mAh battery for 8 to 10 minutes of flight, rechargeable via USB, convenient and quick. It's got a built-in 0.3 megapixel camera for basic aerial shots, plus sensors like an accelerometer and gyroscope for stable hovering. The cannon accessory fires 6 balls up to 6 feet, while the grabber can lift small objects, think paper clips or Lego bricks. The Rolling Spider, meanwhile, shines with its detachable wheels and a top speed of 11 miles per hour. Both models use free-flight app control, offering tilt-to-steer precision and stunt modes. They're tough too, with lightweight plastic frames that bounce back from crashes. Number 10. RC Flying Shark. Hold on to your hats, or maybe your fishing nets, because this RC model is a flying shark. This isn't your typical RC plane or drone. It's an inflatable helium-filled shark that swims through the air like it's prowling the skies instead of the seas. Brought to life by brands like Air Swimmers, this weird creation is equal parts absurd and awesome, turning heads wherever it floats. Well, it's not a traditional RC model with motors and propellers in the usual sense. Instead, it's a giant balloon, 57 inches long, shaped like a shark, filled with helium to keep it buoyant. You control it with a handheld remote that operates a small motor on its tail and movable fins, making it glide through the air with realistic swimming motions. No wings, no rotors, just a fish out of water, defying gravity in the most unconventional way possible. It's like an RC model crossed with a parade float. Imagine a predatory great white shark drifting silently over your living room or backyard barbecue. It's surreal, creepy, and funny all at once. Kids love it, guests freak out, and you can't help but laugh at the absurdity of a sea monster floating indoors. It's not fast or flashy, it tops out at a leisurely pace, but that odd, dreamy movement is what makes it a standout in the RC world. The RC Flying Shark is made of durable nylon fabric, tough enough to handle minor bumps without popping. It is 36 inches tall, with a remote range of about 40 feet, plenty for indoor or calm outdoor fun. The infrared controller runs on 8AA batteries and lets you adjust altitude and direction with ease. A standout perk? It's reusable. Just refill the helium when it starts to sag, and you're back in business. Some versions even come with adjustable weights to fine-tune buoyancy, plus a sleek gray and white design that's spot on for shark fans. Number 9. Wall Climbing RC Car. Forget tearing up the pavement. This little speedster defies gravity by racing straight up walls and even across ceilings. It's like Spider-Man got tired of swinging and decided to trade in his web shooters for some wheels. Models like the Airhog Zero Gravity Laser have turned the RC car game upside down, literally, and it's as bizarre as it is mind-blowing. Unlike your standard RC racer that's stuck to the ground, this one uses vacuum suction to stick to vertical surfaces, walls, windows, you name it. A tiny fan inside creates a low-pressure zone under the car, sucking it to the surface while lightweight construction keeps it from falling. It's a 2-channel setup, one for forward and backward, another for steering, but here's the twist. You can flip it onto the ceiling like it's no big deal. That's not something you see at the racetrack every day. The way it clings to surfaces feels almost alien, and when you add glowing LED lights, A feature on many models, it's a freaky light show too. The oddity of a vehicle breaking free from the floor is what makes this RC a total standout. Take the Airhog zero-gravity laser. It's got a sleek, aerodynamic shell, usually under 8 inches long, and weighs next to nothing at about 2 ounces. The vacuum system is powered by a rechargeable battery, giving you 8 to 10 minutes of climb time per charge via USB. Some versions, like the Laser Edition, use a laser-guided controller. Just point the light, and the car follows like a loyal pup. It's got durable ABS plastic construction to handle inevitable falls, plus multi-surface grip for walls, glass, or ceilings. Speed? Around 5 miles per hour, slow but steady for vertical stunts. Number 8. RC Flying Lawnmower. Yes, you heard that right. A lawnmower that doesn't just trim your grass, but takes to the skies like a backyard superhero. This isn't a mass-produced toy you'll find on store shelves. It's a custom-built masterpiece from the wild minds of RC enthusiasts. Part practical tool, part flying freak show, this bizarre creation is proof that the RC world knows no limits. Picture a standard push mower, blades, wheels, handle, now slap on a lightweight frame, some powerful electric motors, and a set of propellers. That's the RC Flying Lawnmower in a nutshell. Unlike typical RC planes built for speed or stunts, this one starts as a functional garden tool before being tricked out to lift off. It's controlled with a standard 4-channel or 6-channel radio setup, giving you throttle, pitch, roll, and swerve to maneuver a mower through the air. The sheer oddity of repurposing a heavy-duty chore machine into a flyer is what sets it apart. The sight of a boxy utilitarian object soaring like a bird is so out of place it's almost dystopian, like a gardening robot gone rogue. And let's be real, the noise of those motors paired with the absurdity of a flying mower makes it a spectacle no one can ignore. Let's talk features that make this beast stand out. These are do-it-yourself builds, so specs vary, but a typical RC flying lawnmower might sport a 40 to 50-inch frame, stripped down to 5 to 10 pounds with foam or aluminum reinforcements. Power comes from brushless motors. Think 1,000 to 1,500 watts beasts, fed by a 4S or 6S LiPo battery for 5 to 10 minutes of flight. Some mad geniuses add FPV cameras for first-person flying, letting you pilot it like a drone. The mower deck is often kept intact for show, though non-spinning, and landing skids replace wheels. It's a Frankenstein of RC tech and lawn care, raw, rugged, and ridiculously cool. Number 7. RC Cockroach. Imagine a creepy crawler that's here to haunt your dreams and prank your pals. This isn't your average RC car or plane. It's a remote-controlled insect that scuttles around like a real roach. Popularized by novelty brands like Tipmant and Hexbug, this little terror is designed to shock and awe, blending lifelike design with mischievous fun. It's all about that uncanny realism. This isn't a sleek vehicle, it's a bug, complete with 6 twitchy legs that mimic a cockroach's frantic scamper. Controlled via a simple 2-channel remote, forward and backward and left and right, it's powered by a tiny motor that drives its legs in a scarily authentic crawl. Some models, like Tipmant's, even dodge obstacles with infrared sensors, adding to the alive vibe. While most RC models chase speed or altitude, this one's obsessed with creeping you out on the ground. It's a prankster's paradise, sending friends shrieking or stomping before they clock. It's fake. That lifelike scuttle, paired with its unsettling size, bigger than a real roach at about 5 inches, makes it a jolt of chaos. It's not just an RC toy. It's psychological warfare wrapped in a shiny, skittering shell. Who knew terror could be so hilarious? The RC Cockroach boasts a tough plastic body, often with a glossy brown finish and movable legs for that creepy crawl. Models like Tipmant's include glowing LED eyes, red or blue, that light up when it moves, amping up the scare factor. It runs on 6 LR44 button batteries, delivering 10 to 15 minutes of runtime, and the remote reaches about 20 feet, perfect for stealthy strikes. Some versions offer 360-degree spins, while others, like Hexbug's, add sound effects for extra realism. Lightweight at 2 ounces, it's a portable prank machine. Number 6. RC Yamato Battleship. Alright, naval buffs, brace for impact. Here's the RC Yamato Battleship, a seafaring titan that shrinks the legendary World War II icon into a stunning remote-controlled marvel. We're spotlighting the Bancroft 1x200 scale Yamato, a ready-to-run beast that brings Japan's mightiest warship to your local lake. This isn't just a boat. It's a floating museum piece with a wild mix of scale detail and RC flair that's bizarrely captivating. It's a 52-inch replica of the Imperial Japanese Navy's super battleship, famed for its massive 18.1-inch guns and tragic fate, now shrunk with jaw-dropping precision. Unlike typical RC boats built for speed or stunts, this one's a slow-rolling fortress, prioritizing realism over agility. It's pre-assembled with over 400 parts. Think brass cannons and wooden decks, blending static model finesse with functional RC tech. That fusion of display-worthy detail and water-ready action sets it apart in the RC fleet. The sheer size, over 4 feet long, dwarfs most RC boats, and its deliberate pace mimics the real Yamato's lumbering might. It's less about racing and more about commanding a floating legend, turning heads with every ripple. The Bancroft RC Yamato boasts a 52-inch fiberglass hull, topped with a laser-cut wooden deck that mimics real timber planks. Weighing 17 pounds, it's powered by twin 550 brushed motors and a 2S 6000 mAh Li-ion battery for 20 to 30 minutes of runtime. Over 400 brass photo-etched parts, railings, antennas, and triple gun turrets add insane detail, while functional rudders and props ensure smooth sailing. The 2.4 GHz radio offers a 200-meter range, and it's RTR, ready to launch in minutes with minimal setup. Number 5. RC Flying Witch. Imagine a witch soaring over your lawn, cape flapping, looking like she's straight out of a storybook, except you're the one pulling the strings. That mix of folklore and RC tech is eerie, especially when it's swooping low with a recorded cackle. Get ready for some spooky skies, because this isn't your everyday RC plane. It's a cackling, broom-riding sorceress that brings Halloween vibes to the air. Typically a custom job or seasonal novelty from toy brands, this odd flyer swaps engines for enchantment, well, sort of, and turns heads with its whimsical weirdness. Whether it's haunting your backyard or casting a spell at a party, this bizarre model is pure magical madness. It's a character, an actual witch figure, rigged to fly. Unlike standard RC aircraft with sleek fuselages, this one's built around a lightweight doll or foam frame, complete with a pointy hat, flowing cape, and broomstick. Propulsion varies. Some use small electric motors with propellers hidden under the broom, while others are quadcopter style with rotors tucked into the design. Controlled via a 2 or 4 channel remote, it glides or hovers with a wobbly, witchy charm that's far from aerodynamic perfection, but full of personality. It's not about speed or precision. It's slow and floaty, like a ghost on a breeze, but that odd theatrical flight makes it a jaw-dropping spectacle. It's less Top Gun and more hocus pocus in the best way possible. The RC Flying Witch typically spans 20 to 30 inches, with a foam or fabric body weighing under a pound, light enough for easy liftoff. Power comes from a small brushless motor or quadcopter setup, paired with a 3.7 volts LiPo battery for 5 to 10 minutes of flight. Some DIY versions add flapping arms via servos, while store-bought ones, like those from Spirit Halloween, might include glowing LED eyes or a light-up broom tip. The remote range hits 30 to 50 feet, and durable materials like EPP foam ensure it survives crash landings, because witches don't always stick the landing. Number 4. Flying Pancake, VOT V173. Nicknamed the Flying Flapjack, this disc-shaped wonder hails from a wild World War II experiment, and now RC enthusiasts have brought it back as a peculiar model. It's not your typical sleek fighter or glider. This thing looks like a UFO had a baby with a breakfast dish, and it flies just as strangely as it looks. It's all about that shape. The real Vought V173 was a 1940s prototype with a flat, circular body and stubby wings, designed to test low-speed flight. The RC version mimics that saucer-like design, ditching the conventional long fuselage and big wings of most planes. Powered by twin electric motors with rear-mounted props, it uses a pusher configuration, meaning the propellers shove it forward from behind. That setup, combined with its pancake flat profile, gives it a flight style that's slow, floaty, and totally unconventional for RC aircraft. When you see this thing hovering in the air, it's like a flying saucer crash-landed in your backyard. Its round shape makes it wobble and drift in ways that defy normal aerodynamics, almost like it's defying physics itself. Onlookers often mistake it for a UFO or some sci-fi prop, and that's before it starts its lazy pancake-flipping turns. It's not fast or agile, it's more of a floating curiosity. But that oddball charm is what makes it so freaky and fun. The RC Flying Pancake typically has a 24 to 30-inch diameter, crafted from lightweight EPO foam to keep it aloft at just 1 to 2 pounds. It's a 4-channel setup, throttle, ailerons, elevator, and rudder, powered by dual 1000 to 1500 kilovolt brushless motors and a 3S LiPo battery for 8 to 12 minutes of flight. Some kits, like those from hobby brands, include pre-cut foam parts for easy assembly, while others add LED lights for a glowing, UFO-esque effect. Its low stall speed, thanks to that broad surface, means it can practically hover, making it a dream for slow flight fans. Number 3. E-flite P-51D Mustang. This 1.2-meter tribute to the iconic World War II fighter isn't some oddball custom job, but it's quirky enough to earn its spot here with a blend of scale realism and high-tech quirks that make it a standout. From its legendary Cripes a Mighty third paint scheme to its smart tech wizardry, this Mustang gallops through the skies with a personality all its own. It's a full-house warbird. Flaps, retracts, the works, crammed into a compact 1.2-meter frame that's oddly practical, yet packed with pro-level features. Most RC planes this size stick to basic flight, but this one's a scale replica of the US Army Air Corps Legend, complete with a 4-blade prop and a 3S or 4S compatible power system that screams versatility. The kicker? It's got Spectrum Smart Technology, an ESC that talks to your transmitter, spitting out real-time data like voltage and RPM. That's a bizarre twist for a foam flyer, blending old-school fighter vibes with futuristic smarts. The bizarre factor hits when you see this mini Mustang strut its stuff. It's decked out in George Preddy Jr.'s Cripes a Mighty third trim. Think bold red nose and checkerboard flare, looking like it's ready to dogfight Messerschmitts, not buzz your local park. Yet, it's got AS3X for rock-steady flight and optional safe. Select to save your bacon if you botch a landing. Features you'd expect in a trainer, not a warbird. That clash of vintage swagger and nanny tech makes it feel like a time-traveling pilot, equally at home in 1944 or 2025. The E-flite P-51D boasts a 47.6-inch wingspan of tough EPO foam, weighing just 3.5 pounds, light but durable. Its 70-amp Spectrum Avian Smart Light ESC and 850 kilovolts motor deliver punchy thrust with a 3S 2200 to 3200 milliamps LiPo, or go 4S for ballistic speed. Functional flaps and electric retracts with scale gear doors add realism, while the 4-blade prop spins up that classic Mustang roar. The BNF version includes an AR631 receiver with telemetry and safe tech, and assembly's glue-free. Snap it together in under an hour. It's a warbird that's oddly easy to love. Number 2. RC Flying Saucer. Picture a UFO-inspired oddity that looks like it's ready to abduct your neighbor's cat. Whether it's a store-bought novelty or a custom job from an RC tinkerer, this disc-shaped flyer zips through the air with an alien vibe that's pure sci-fi fun. What makes the RC Flying Saucer so unusual is that shape. Round, flat, and wingless, it's the anti-aircraft of RC models. Instead of traditional props or jets, Many use vertical lift fans, or quadcopter-style rotors hidden inside the saucer, giving it a hover and dart flight style. Controlled with a 4-channel remote, it's less about soaring and more about floating and spinning like a spacecraft from a B-movie. That unconventional design ditches aerodynamics for a look that screams extraterrestrial, perfect for standing out among winged RC norms. Its wobbly, unpredictable flight, sometimes darting, sometimes drifting, feels like a UFO on the loose, especially at night when those lights kick in. It's not built for speed or stunts. It's a slow-moving mystery that confuses onlookers and sparks alien invasion jokes. The RC flying saucer often spans 12 to 24 inches in diameter, made from lightweight plastic or EPP foam, weighing under a pound for easy liftoff. Power comes from small, brushless motors, think 1,000 kilovolts, or quadcopter setups, paired with a 3.7-volt 1,000 milliamps LiPo battery for 10 to 15 minutes of flight. Many boast multicolored LED strips that flash or pulse, turning it into a glowing orb. Some DIY versions add sound effects like hums, while commercial ones, like those from Silverlit, offer auto-hover modes for stability. It's tough to crash-resistant materials shrug off rough landings. Number 1. RC Flying Shoe. Imagine a sneaker buzzing over your head, laces flapping like a cape, looking like it escaped a closet and decided to join the Air Force. It's so random it's hilarious. Shoes aren't meant to fly, yet here it is, defying logic with every shaky hover. This is a literal sneaker or boot that's taken flight, proving even footwear can hit the skies. Typically a custom creation from RC hobbyists with a knack for the absurd, this model kicks convention to the curb and delivers a bizarre twist on remote-controlled fun. It's a shoe, think a high-top sneaker, loafer, or even a cowboy boot, transformed into a flying machine. Builders start with a lightweight shoe model, often foam or hollow plastic, then rig it with motors and props. Some slap small wings or stabilizers on the sides, while others hide quadcopter rotors underneath the sole. Controlled via a 4-channel remote, it lifts off with a wobbly, awkward grace that's anything but aerodynamic. It's not about sleek design, it's about taking something grounded and making it airborne. Some builders add a walking sound effect mid-flight for extra laughs, while others paint it with wild patterns to amp up the weirdness. The RC flying shoe varies by build, but a typical version might be 10 to 15 inches long, crafted from a foam shoe mold or a gutted toy sneaker, weighing under a pound. Power comes from a 500 to 1,000 kilovolt brushless motor or quadcopter setup, paired with a 3.7-volt 1,000 milliamps LiPo battery for 5 to 10 minutes of flight. Some feature flapping laces via servos, while others sport LED lights in the sole for a glowing touchdown. The remote range hits 30 to 50 feet, and its lightweight frame shrugs off crashes, because even flying shoes stumble. Which of these unusual RC models blew your mind the most? Let us know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.